up, man?
What's up?
What's up, guys?
We are here for another epic installment of the MMA Brothers. This week we are recapping 2 events. We have a new women's champion of an entire new women's division and a new Dos Santos. So let's see. Let's get into it. We got a lot to go over.
All right. So, yeah, first let's go over that.
Also, I'm Brad Jones.
And also, I'm Coach McKinley.
I keep forgetting to do that, so there we go.
Well, all right, dude. Let's start off with the Tough 20 finale.
Yes.
Crown a new champ.
New champ. New strawweight division, 115. Yeah, they're all right. Overall, I cannot get into women's fighting. I can't do it. I don't know what it is. It doesn't pull me in. I love watching Rousey fight. Other than Rousey, and I'll watch Tate fights too. Other than the 2 of them, I can't. No female fighters.
Dude, Esparza looked great.
Yes,
She looked relentless as all hell, dude.
Okay, I got slightly invested in the main event because it was for a championship, and I wanted Rose.
I love Pat Barry, and Pat Barry loves Rose.
Big fan of Pat Barry.
So
we both met this man, shaking his hand. We have picture evidence. So I was rooting for his girlfriend. Unfortunately, she got whooped real bad. So
yeah.
So yeah, there goes. But she's 22. Can't even blame her for that. She's 22. 3-2 now overall. Her first professional MMA fight was just last year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
well,
maybe she was a little rushed, and Dana White saying she was going to be the new Rousey. Maybe a little soon to say that. So
you got the longest arms in the whole division. You don't throw a jab for 3 rounds. Chances are you're not going to be the new Rousey.
Got handily dealt with there. So we ended up getting the new champ was actually the Invicta champ. So everything just transferred right over.
Transferred over.
She got thrown back into the tournament and ended up winning the whole thing again. So yeah, I mean, she proved that she was where she needed to be. So Esparza's the new champ. Yeah.
That was a solid minute. See, what I'm gonna have to do right now is I'm gonna have to live the life of an old man for this episode. I got a Bahamas shirt on. Feeling great. There's all this air in here. But I also have glasses on. We got lights. I got glare aplenty, but I need these to read. So I'll be taking them on and off. And right now I need to read. So let's just go bottom of the card. Just name them off and we'll stop if they're noteworthy, if we want to discuss it.
Yeah.
Angela Hill, Emily Kagan. You know, decision. That's cool. Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Aisling Daly, who missed weight by 3 pounds, she looks weird for a 115, and by weird, I mean looks not small enough to be a 115.
Yeah.
And she wasn't. She weighed in at 118, but she still got that win. She got an armbar victory over Alex Chambers. And then we'll just keep on moving around. Ticia Torres took on Angela Mangana? Yeah, right? Mangana? Mangana. Decision. Joan Calderwood beat Sohee Ham, who I'm excited to see back.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype about her.
Yeah, I'm excited to see both of them. Heather Jo Clark defeated Beck Rawlings. Felice Herrig got an armbar finish over supposed rival Lisa Ellis. I'm not 100. I didn't know they were
just not invested enough to know what.
Just every stare down with the girls, it looked like they all had bad blood. So I didn't know. Okay.
Good stuff. Let's get to the good stuff.
Main card. We got Jessica Pinn taking on Ronda Marcos. Right?
Yeah.
Marcos?
Yeah.
My glasses still aren't.
Split decision.
And then you get Yancy Medeiros getting that badass against the cage.
Dope fight.
Yeah.
Joe Proctor. It was an awesome fight. He was the one that got that spinning kick to the body, right? That was great. That was fantastic.
And then we had a weird one. KJ Noon's fighting Darren Cruikshank.
It's unfortunate fight.
Apparently, all the judges had the first round for Cruikshank.
Which also was weird.
Which was weird to me, because I thought that Nunes walked him down the whole first round. Got, like, stuck against the cage, but again, like, what's more important, throwing strikes or control? We never know. And then we have Charles Oliveira doing his thing against Jeremy Stevens. That was awesome, man.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Jeremy Stevens dug deep, got out of some really, really close. I was sitting at the bar saying, got it.
That was a huge upset for me. Oliveira has probably the best submission game in the entire featherweight division, but his striking is just not there. And as it's been
solid.
Now he does, but it hasn't been, because anytime they put him up against a striker, he'd get obliterated.
That's true.
But this was the first time I thought he'd follow with the usual in trouble with strikers, which Jeremy Stevens is. But it didn't matter. He got him down to the ground in the first, got him in a lot of submissions, kept him in the submissions, and ended up getting the overall decision. I was impressed.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to see, and that's the thing, is Jeremy Stevens didn't look awful.
No.
He just looked. He looked like he didn't. When the grappling came in, he got overwhelmed with the options Oliveira had with his submissions. And Carla Esparza, she looked like a 115-pound Cain Velasquez against.
Yeah, I mean
against Rose. I'm gonna call her Rose because her last name is a mystery to me.
Rose said afterwards that she felt like a kid, and she looked like one. She looked like, I mean, Esparza just looked like a professional.
A 28-year-old professional fighter fighting a 22-year-old 3-1 professional fighter.
Yeah.
Just relentless, didn't let up, and it just didn't look like Rose had a lot of options to battle back. Her off her back, she was just looking noodly.
So every time they come out, she gets takedown, Rose on her back.
Rose would throw some weird. It was like the way that I was kind of thinking about it when I was watching it. One fighter looked crisp, and one fighter looked like just not crisp. I don't know, but like
noodly. Noodly is a good way to say it.
Noodly is when your reach works against you. That's what noodly is. Yeah. When you throw a flying knee that looks like you're just skipping your opponent with high knees.
That is exactly what it looked like. It looked like a very powerful skip.
It looked like a power skip, and oh well. You know what, Rose? Come back better next time. I got faith in you, girl.
So, next day, Saturday night, we begin an epic Fox card, top to bottom. Now, this was rare in the fact that even the 3 Fight Pass prelims were all pretty significant. Out of the gate, Ian Entwistle, who isn't really anybody yet, took on Anthony Burchak right out of the gate. Comes out a minute in, drops, grabs the dude's leg, and gets a heel hook in, like, right out of the gate. It was impressive. I'm pretty sure he got a post-fight bonus for that, too. Impressive. We follow that on with Henry Cejudo, who is a Olympic gold medalist in wrestling, one of only 3 to ever compete in the UFC. He was scheduled to make his debut back at 177, and he was supposed to be fighting at flyweight.
Supposed to be fighting 125, didn't make the weight. UFC said, yo, here's the deal, you can't make weight, move up. And I wish that was their policy every time.
Yeah,
because we want to have John Lineker as a contender.
Yeah.
You are a professional. You either need to make your weight or you need to move up a weight class. That's why weight classes exist.
Yeah.
Especially with the lower weight classes, it's only 10 pounds. Like a Nate Diaz situation, jumping 15 for missing 5 doesn't really add up. But and then you got.
Cejudo did awesome.
He didn't even
Justin
Kimura.
He didn't even need his wrestling. I mean, he was outstriking the hell out of him. Beat him up. David, blah, Garrett, whatever.
That was a lightweight bout decision. Maybe we'll talk about those guys in another event.
Joe Ellenberger.
Yeah, we'll go to
other Ellenberger. got defeated. TKO'd in the third round. Yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't interest me. For some reason, I don't like siblings of like established UFC fighters. Pettis champion for his little brother for some reason.
Sergio doesn't look bad.
Sergio doesn't look bad. That fight with Bruce Leroy though made me lose a lot in him because I mean he lost that in the final seconds. He got submitted. He quit in that one. But again, he was only 21, so let it slide. Joe Ellenberger, TKO in the third. Was getting whooped up pretty bad with some elbows, punches. It's good though.
Yeah, and then we got Drew Dober fighting Jamie Varner in possibly the most, just one of those fights that Jamie Varner can't catch a break, man. Tell you what, he can't catch a break. He gets caught by Abel, breaks his ankle against James Krause, and now knocks himself out against Drew Dober. And what do you do after that? You retire.
He did the smart thing.
He retired. He did the smart thing, man.
Yeah. He didn't try to hang around too long. He knew it was coming.
Yeah, graceful. This is the second time he's retired, so we'll see if he stays gone. I think he will, because now he's got a gym and he's got things he's working on. Post-fight, he mentioned a fighters union and media. Oh man, you can't mention a fighters union around media. That's the only questions you're going to get asked for the rest of the time.
Right.
They were so ready for that. And then in another bizarre finish, we got Joe Diesel Riggs making his comeback fight against Ben Saunders, and he taps out to Mission Control.
Yep. Just
gets a takedown.
Really, I don't think it's been established at this point what exactly happened. We just know it is a neck injury.
Neck injury is the official.
As he was hitting a takedown on Saunders, it looks like he got his arm sort of in an odd position behind his back, and something happened. He injured his neck somehow.
Banged his head on the torso of Saunders. I'm not sure what happened. But
only took 57 seconds.
Ben Saunders got it done in the first round. First ever submission due to Mission Control. So, way to go, Ben.
John Moraga
and Willie Gates.
Controversy here in the first round after the second D kick. Willie Gates and John Moraga, they're separated, and the ref says that he didn't see it and that the fight should continue, but John Moraga did not see that the ref had done this, and Willie Gates did, so he pounced on the opportunity. When John Moraga was not paying attention, he was swiftly punched in the face, dropped, beat on, got his back taken.
There's a choke in.
Willie Gates got his neck, and then crowd booing heavily. Even on top of all that, didn't matter. Gates couldn't get it. Moraga escaped. Got into the third round where he ended up submitting Willie Gates with a rear naked choke. It was impressive.
Karma, dog.
Yeah.
Karma.
Willie Gates immediately lost me and probably the whole arena as a fan.
Yeah, sorry, Willie. Homie, don't play that.
Right. So then, main event of our prelims, we got...
Oh my god.
What?
Jonah... Hold on. Jonah... Jonah J. And Claudia Gadelha. Claudia Gadelha. Alright, we got Jonah J. and Claudia G. Throwing down in the octagon. And there's a little bit of controversy here where the loser, Claudia G., the bell rang. Jonah J. throws a kick right after the bell. Claudia threw a little bit more of a delayed punch.
It was pretty delayed. It was a very questionable thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. This was for the #1 contender of our new strawweight division champion, who was just crowned the night before. So now it looks like
Esparza's keeping busy.
Yeah.
Taking on Jonah J. Hopefully we learn how to say her name before they fight.
So that brings us to the main card.
And what a card!
3 heavyweight fights. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was telling Parker at work. Big Fox cards. This is what you do. Women and heavyweights. Done.
It works.
You put them on there. You make people realize that women are fighting the UFC now. They usually throw down.
You have to have a good matchup for the women, though.
Like striking women, not a grappler striker, because...
Ooh, get, what's her name? Just won, she's 21. Everyone's blowing up about her. Her. Can't think what her name is. The braids and the yellow.
That's just about every one of them.
But she just fought. Man. Sorry, whatever.
Wait, what card?
She just fought like 2 cards ago. Everyone's blowing up, making a big deal about her. The UFC's trying to pump her a lot. She's 21. She got the bonus.
Oh,
Paige Van Zandt.
Paige Van Zandt. There we go.
Oh, that bitch.
Paige Van Zandt.
Thanks, Parker.
Get her on the main card. Get her doing some stuff. Get some spotlight on her.
Shout out to Paige Van Zandt if you're watching this.
Shout out to Paige Van
Sexy
Zandt. If
shit.
you are watching this, thank you. Tell your friends. So yeah, Fox card started. We got Matt Mitrione versus Gabriel Gonzaga.
In that fight, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and we have another heavyweight fight ended during a sneaky... the way Mitrione does it. Mitrione sneaks these punches in exchanges, in like, when people are coming in, drops Gonzaga, gets it done, Gonzaga thinks it's done,
I forgot about that.
the ref
They both thought it was
doesn't.
done. The ref didn't do anything, and Matt Mitrione had to land one more like hard shot
Brutal.
before the ref officially called that off.
Yeah, the old ladies in the restaurant recoiled when they watched a defenseless, pretty much unconscious man get blasted one more time for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Just so Herb Dean could make sure.
First round finish there.
Yeah, first round
Followed that
finish
up.
there.
Second heavyweight fight. Overeem's back. Struve's back. And we have another first round finish.
Mm-hmm.
Now Overeem's a big guy, and he even looked in really good shape. But Struve was gigantic compared to him. I mean, he was huge. He had a significant reach advantage.
Didn't use it.
Didn't use it at all.
Didn't use it at all. He was walking into the Ream's range.
Ream closed the distance.
Got a takedown. Pushed him up against the cage. He avoided some good guard play by Struve. Struve was doing good off his back, but once you get your head on that cage, and you got Struve and you got Overeem throwing those hands at you, you're cooked.
Yeah.
You're done, turkey.
So Overeem gets a win. We will come back. We'll circle back around to that shortly. But next, we'll go on co-main event: Dos Anjos versus Diaz. Diaz, of course, missed weight. Diaz was just a mess this whole week, skipping a lot of media obligations, just being an all-around ass, and just messing everything up for himself. Then missed weight by 4.5 pounds. Came in, looked awful, and got just torn to shreds by
In
Dos
the
Anjos.
words of the immortal Dana fucking White, Rafael Dos Anjos should have been charged for murder, attempted murder, for the beatdown he put on Nate Diaz. That was,
Tough to watch at
I've
times.
never seen, even Ben Henderson didn't beat him up like that, and I never thought that I'd see Nate Diaz get beat up worse.
Diaz's legs, that leg could have been like chopped off at one point. If that would have been like 5 rounds and Anjos had kept up on it, I feel like he would have just sliced straight through that leg at some point and just taken it right off.
But Diaz being Diaz would have just hung in there for 25.
I don't know. That was weird to me, actually. I was surprised that he stayed in there the whole time, because his whole thing is about, they're like, nah, I'm not here just to get beat up. I'm not going to take punishment. I don't have to. What was the fight they threw in the towel against when he was fighting Josh Thompson? So.
Nah, he got knocked out via Josh Thompson, though, man.
But then his corner threw in the towel, too.
Wow, I think that's a little different. I think if the Diaz bros are...
He was surviving.
They're the scrap pack, bro. They're down to scrap no matter what.
I don't know, man. He scrapped.
They
but
show
I mean,
up to fight, dude. He's injured. He shows up to fight. A lot of
He
these
showed
guys,
up.
they got hurt pinkies, they got hurt
Got
fingers.
whooped.
They show up.
Got handled. He got handled. bad.
209.
So yeah, Dos Anjos establishes himself as number 1 contender, which Dana White confirms afterwards because Khabib is hurt. So it looks like we'll be getting Dos Anjos versus Pettis. probably early next year. I'm ready for that Pettis head kick knockout because I feel it coming. Dos Anjos is good.
Again,
but
another fight that'll look at Dos Anjos, and I think he has everything. He has everything to beat Pettis.
Dude, but when I see Pettis for the past how many years, every single fight Pettis takes, we're like, Pettis should lose this. And he doesn't. Pettis gets some spectacular finish out of nowhere every single time. So yeah, I fully expect Pettis to... I expect Pettis actually now, I was very doubtful of him in the beginning. I suspect him to stay champ for a pretty long time at this point. For a while. I don't, especially with Ben leaving the division, which is, he already beat Ben twice anyway. I don't see anyone giving him any real trouble at lightweight.
I don't know. I feel like
I think
there's
Khabib's
still
the
some
only real
guys.
hurdle. After that, look at what you're looking with. Those we have Cerrone, who he's already finished. We have where's Khabib undefeated. We go down. We got Dos Anjos. I don't know. I mean, no one is jumping out at me as anyone that's going to give him a challenge.
I don't know. Give the winner of Miles Jury and Cerrone. We could give Cerrone another shot at it. I wouldn't be pissed.
I think they'll do probably Dos Anjos and then have Khabib fight the winner of that probably in the summer. So I'm going to say lightweight for as champions is concerned is probably booked up until like fall of next year at this point.
And that was weird. That's weird to me because I remember there was an initial report right after Pettis fought that said he was going to be out for 6 months.
No, they were claiming that he hurt his hand, but he's saying he didn't hurt it. He's good. He wants to fight as soon as possible, which is good. So yep, that fight is over. We come on to our epic main event. Dos Santos and Miocic went to war. Man, they went to war. Miocic clearly dominating Dos Santos in the first 2 rounds, and then in my personal opinion, Dos Santos winning was round 3 through 5. He gets the unanimous decision. I didn't. Everyone was making a big deal. It was close. You know, whatever. It should have been a split decision or something. It was.
I don't know.
It was close.
I feel like that's a ridiculous thing to say.
Right.
Like Dos Santos should have won still, but like it should have been a split decision. What difference does it make? I don't know what difference it makes.
Lawler Hendricks 2 was a questionable decision. This, I feel like, was pretty straightforward. Stipe whooped Dos Santos those first 2 rounds. I was very concerned for him.
49-46 though?
Those are...
What are those judges looking at, man?
Judges have been...
What are they looking at? How do you give Dos Santos round 1 or 2 in any way? Round 3 is questionable, right? That's the round in question.
Actually, I think most people are saying 5 is the one that's in question.
How is 5?
So yeah, I mean, he's still good. His base of what he does is good, but it's been exposed now of how to beat him. It's to fight in an aggressive style, and when the people fight like that, they hurt him. He has now taken 3 brutal ass whoopings, which has probably taken a lot of years off of his life. He's been getting beat up.
His face looked like a cartoon. His face looked like a cartoon. Dude, I'm telling you, man, he can't... Like, seriously, it's not that he's just stayed the same. He's not... what heavyweights are out of Nova Inyao?
None. That was the thing.
None.
There were a lot of talk leading up to this. People were asking. They were like,
"What? He's going to go wrestle with Jose Aldo and Renan Barão?"
Right. They were like, "You're with all these smaller guys now. Are there any really heavyweights to train with?"
There's 4-1 Ultimate Fighter winner.
Mm-hmm.
Elite heavyweight. I don't know his name.
I think if he really wants to be a champion, he can't stay in Brazil. He needs to move to the U.S., train in the U.S. camp, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Never.
And I don't think that his time to be champion is probably over. I'm going to say at this point. A lot was hindering on this fight, and even though he won,
the way he looked in this fight was going to let us know if he's ready to be champion again or not. And if you willingly put your back against the cage, and then when you want to get out, you don't face your opponent when you want to get out, and you just turn your back and eat punches to the back of the jaw while you escape, you're going to get knocked out by Dos Santos. You're going to get knocked out by Velasquez because punches add up.
Yeah.
If he keeps fighting like this and he doesn't make improvements, we will see him get stopped. And we were talking about this before the show. I don't know who I'd have in a rematch between Fabrizio Verdum and Junior Dos Santos. Because when they fought the first time, Verdum was very much still a jiu-jitsu fighter that needed to get you on the ground. But he's pretty cool with having you up against the cage too. And if you're cool with being up against the cage and dropping both of your hands every time you get put up against the cage, he's going to knee you in the head. And he's going to elbow you in the head.
I would still have Dos Santos in a fight in a rematch with Verdum, though. Verdum looked horrible in this fight with Mark Hunt. Hunt obliterated him on the feet every chance he got. Verdum's knockout knee was really his only effective offense the entire fight. And just based on history itself, in Dos Santos' fight with Hunt, knocked Hunt out in an awesome fight that I just rewatched not too long ago. It was awesome. That's another thing that I remembered. We'll talk about it after this. Real quick. Matchups now for Dos Santos. A lot of options. There's a rematch with Verdum, which I don't think anyone really wants.
What the hell? Give him Reem.
Reem! That's one of the biggest ones. Reem won, which even though he is
via first round knockout. Give him Reem.
Even though he's not qualified for this, doesn't matter. He has a win. We just had Shaw versus Brown, which is the other one. Brown versus Dos Santos. A lot of people were saying that. That's the higher level matchup, and the fun matchup is the Overeem.
As a fan of Dos Santos, I hate that fight for him.
I would rather see him take on Overeem.
Yeah, I hate that fight for him, but I love him fighting Overeem.
I'm ready.
Because I think if that's a battle of chins, Reem loses 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Yo, Parker, where we at on time?
Well, it cut off in the middle of it.
Damn it.
No! God.
I caught it before it did anything, so it's not really much that damage. So when it cut off, it was probably like 30 minutes. We are at 34 minutes right now.
Okay.
Alright. A little bit more we'll do post. Do a little post up.
Let's talk about...
So that wraps up that card.
Yeah.
First thing I want to get into, me and Parker this week rewatched Jones and Gustafson.
And it was fantastic.
We need to talk about this. I hadn't rewatched in a while. We're getting hyped up for the fast approaching greatest light heavyweight fight in a long time in Jones Cormier. Everyone, it's a highly contested fight. Everyone is always saying blah blah. I think Jones won. I think Gustafson won. Gustafson, even in a really bitch move, got his tattoo half done because he was like, I clearly didn't win that. He didn't. Hate to break it to you, Jones, in my opinion, and Parker's, clearly won that fight.
Well, that's coming from like a diehard Jones fan, dude.
Not really.
You're looking through Jones' color.
No, I swear to God, I was so impartial, and Parker doesn't care.
What rounds did they give Gustafson? Did they say that they gave Gustafson? Because if it was the first two, they didn't. He didn't win those two rounds.
The judges were on our side. The two judges gave John 4 of the 5 rounds. I gave John 4 of the 5 rounds.
I also gave John 4 of the 5
happened.
rounds.
I'll do that. I'll do this.
I don't know how long.
The whole fight when I watch it,
No.
they give him 4 out of the 5 rounds?
John was doing the damage.
It's not based on damage,
It
Brad.
is.
It's not based...
John
Listen,
could have
crowd.
knocked out Gustafson.
Go to the unified rules. Go to the
point.
unified rules and find me where it judges based on damage, because it doesn't. That's why the first BJ Penn fight with GSP, Penn lost to GSP the first time because GSP got the shit kicked out of him, but he got a bunch of takedowns.
That wasn't how it was happening, though. John would be... Alright, Gustafson would be hitting him with all kinds of shots, whatever, cutting him, getting his face, tagging him with stuff, points. John would then land a brutal head kick that would completely rock him, have him stumbling, ready to be finished at any moment. John would be then pounce on him, beat the shit out of him until the round would end. And this would happen every single time.
Every time.
John won. John won that fight, and I don't even think it was supposed to be. Shouldn't have been a split decision. I think John
but that's the difference.
Won.
That's the difference between the judges we have now and the judges we need to have in the future. We don't need judges that watch the last 30 seconds of a round and go, "Yep, he got it." No, we need judges that take the whole round into account and go, "Whoa, well, Jones only really did shit for 30 seconds, and then, well, I guess for 4.5 minutes. I guess I give Gustafsson a round.
So that didn't happen. John clearly won. We'll just get that out of the way. That's on record now.
I'm not saying that Jones didn't win that fight, but to say that Jones
rewatch it. I don't know when the last time we watched it. Rewatch it.
I mean, I've seen it multiple times. It's an amazing fight. It's a great fight.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that'll be great. So that's what I had. What do you got? You got some fights to talk about? Or some stuff? No, let's talk about
just quick. We, just kind of related. Class action lawsuit against the UFC from former and more interestingly current fighters and management, like $100 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Something crazy.
They haven't released a lot of details about it yet. It was actually just brought to light a few days ago.
Yeah, so
we don't know that much about it.
If it goes through.
Which it sounded like it is. This is probably the biggest. In the current fighters is the most interesting thing.
Because no one's taking them to court over the monopoly thing. Because that's not, you can't, as long as there's Renegade Fighting League Southwest.
Right.
They're not a monopoly because fighters and people can still go pay Southwest Fighting League.
Right.
But what they're suing the UFC over is an unfair domination of the market. Mm-hmm. And not allowing, once this Reebok deal got passed through, the Reebok deal is based on your ranking. We have a tiered payment system where the higher ranked you are, the higher paid you are via the sponsorship. And a guy from our website, MMALadiesNews.com, put up a quick little spreadsheet, did some math, and he's saying that the average fighter is going to take home $1,500 a year off the Reebok deal. $1,500 a whole year. And you're a professional athlete.
I just don't think we can really... Everyone's up in arms about it, but it doesn't even take into effect until June, July of next year.
There's still, dude.
The thing that they made a big mistake, I feel like, in announcing it this early, because what's happening is all the sponsors now that know that coming next June or July, they're going to be out of, that this isn't going to work for them. They're jumping ship now, which screws over everyone who has to wait until then. That I understand, and I think they made a mistake in announcing that so early. But I feel like there's nothing we can even... First of all, it's going to happen, regardless. So everyone can complain all they want. It's going to happen. It's done. But I don't think we're going to see the full effects until it goes into effect and it actually is happening. Then people can complain about it. But right now, you're just complaining about speculation. I mean, we don't even know.
Well, we know, for instance, if you haven't, you should. Fighter and the Kid, the episode with Joe Rogan. Did you watch that?
I watched both. I watched the Joe Rogan thing, and then I watched afterwards the what's his name, Brennan. On their actual podcast, he was talking about it, his response to it.
Yeah, Schaub said this was taken, I believe this part was taken out of the one that they put up officially, but I'm a wizard of the internet and I got the original one. And Schaub said that he makes more money from, this is where the issue comes in, he makes more money from his individual sponsorships than he does from his fight purse. And that's probably the case for a lot of fighters. Yeah. And so now the UFC is essentially just saying, hey, what?
You know what else he said? He said he makes just as much money from doing the podcast as he does from fighting, overall. That's crazy! That is insane.
What?
Yeah, he said it's completely comparable. The amount of money that he makes from doing that podcast is completely equal with how much he makes from fighting.
Justice,
he should retire, in my opinion.
Justice is dead. Justice is dead. You got a guy fighting with two fists making $60 million, and mixed martial artists are making more money off of podcasts than their actual sport. What is this?
Let's touch on this. Out of nowhere, Floyd Mayweather saying, it's time. I want the Pacquiao fight in May.
May 2nd.
May 2nd. He's out of nowhere, just like, let's do it. Guarantee it's in it. He wants it as Lord. He wants it as his retirement fight, and then he wants to get that last ultra $1 billion, and then head on out. I think after both of them are done, boxing's done. Get Pacquiao and Mayweather. There is no more boxing. Who cares about? Can you name any other boxer besides him currently? Cause I can't.
We'll let the Klitschko's hug it out for the rest of their careers, and then
just boxing. I think is just going to slowly die after that, and all those people, all these millions of people that run out and buy every Mayweather fight, but don't know shit about boxing or any other time. What are they going to do? They're going to buy every John Jones fight. They're going to buy every Rousey fight or every hope to God not Anderson fight.
Just a more involved, harder sport to do.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that'll help. After they're gone, I think that'll really help beef up MMA quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that does it.
That's it. That's all I got.
That does it for this week. I am Kobe McKinley.
Brad Jones again. Tune in next week right here on latestMMAnews.com.
MMALatestNews.com.
There it is.
We are the MMA Brothers on MMALatestNews.com.
See you next Sunday. Be sure to tune in. Have a great week, everyone.
Mark is old.
He's
got that.
Podcast turn up.
This is behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. There's Bryce.
Oh no, Mark!
We got Brock Lesnar versus Mark Coleman. Who's Brock Lesnar?
Me.
Brad's Brock Lesnar. Mark Coleman is Hawaiian Kobe.
Oh! Yeah!
And it's over.
Fuck yeah, Mark.
Damn
that uppercut.
Good job, Mark Coleman. Good job, Kobe.
What world do we live in when Mark Coleman just KO'd
Thanks,
Brock
dude.
Lesnar?
It was hard fought. Really had to dig deep. My thumbs got tired. He's fighting with a hurt thumb, but he's got to show up and make that money.
It's true.
You know, we
Gotta
need
show
a
up,
union.
make that money.
We need a union.
I fought.
Possible.
I fought through it, you know. I showed
Yeah,
up.
a lot of these fighters hurt their fingers, hurt their toes. They don't show. He did.
I skipped all my press stuff, and I lost like all my money, essentially. But, you know, I showed up and got whooped like a man.